Greetings, friends. A terrible car accident occurred in the 5 towns last week. During the same week, a violently destructive tornado struck the Midwest. Life can go upside down in an instant. In these days before Mashiach, we are witnessing events beyond our comprehension. Hashem is orchestrating a finale to the pageant of history. We will have to grip the Torah very tightly to save ourselves. It is a mistake to think that life is going to continue as usual. I have said this many times, but I do believe we are not getting it, and we need to focus. I myself am no exception. I go through life as if it will continue in its usual course, but this is not the case. Please remember that Am Yisrael and Mitzrayim saw the collapse of the entire civilization in which they were living. This was the prelude to Har Sinai. We cannot continue to live our present life and expect everything to stay the same when we are about to meet Hashem face to face. When this redemption comes, we're going to shake the way Yosef's brothers shook when they heard him say, Ani Yosef, I am Yosef. Please listen to the words of the prophet, quote, I, Hashem, take an oath that on that day, the day of the final redemption, a great earthquake shall come upon the soil of Israel, and there shall quake before me the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the beasts of the field, all creeping things, and every human being on the face of the earth. This is a quote from Yechezkel, Ezekiel the prophet. Every animal and person in the world will be quaking on that day. Can we imagine this? No, we really cannot imagine this. During the recent convention of Agudath Israel of America, there was a session called Ani Mamin, at which the speaker was Reb Shlomo Steinmetz. He called himself a Pashta Yid from Montreal, a plain Jew. If this is a plain Jew, then the Jewish people are very exalted. All eyes were crying. His son was killed in the collapse of the bleachers in Meron last Lag BaOmer. The father spoke with dignity. His focus was Emunah in Hashem. At the end of his presentation, the song Ani Mamin was sung with great emotion. At the end of Shachar services, we have a tradition to recite the 13 principles of faith based on the writings of the Rambam. Each statement begins with the words, Ani Ma'amin be'emunah shalema. I believe with perfect faith. This world is a ladder. Our entire life is a series of tests. Who exemplified this better than our avos and imahos, the patriarchs and matriarchs, whose lives are presented in the parshios we've been reading since the beginning of the year? We have learned from our avos and imahos that we can elevate our lives by understanding that Hashem gives us these tests for precisely this purpose, to elevate our lives. During this week, 56 years ago, when my wife and I were students at the University of Michigan, and we had been married a few years, My life turned upside down overnight. I thought I was finished. I was sliding down the black hole, which has no bottom. But my life was just beginning. I had many tests before finding the Torah, and I have had many tests since finding the Torah. I'm not going to tell you that I understood them when they occurred, but I am going to tell you that I have found out in each and every case that Hashem was holding my hand. He was leading me on paths of righteousness. Though I walk in the valley overshadowed by death, I will fear no evil, for he is with me. May we go through life with Emunah Shalema, the knowledge that whatever happens to us emanates from above. There will come a day when Hashem will wipe away all our tears. May we see it soon in our days. Good Shabbos.